Happy week one to our 2024 growing season. We are so excited to kick off Farmshare. Each week I put together a short little video. One of the things I love to touch on is how to store your produce so that way it will last the most optimal time frame for you and your household. Most people say they eat it so fast they don't really need to take extra storing precautions, but just in case. So these first few weeks are going to be the seasons of greens. So you will might be overwhelmed, but I promise you that will taper off as the heat of the summer comes. The greens love this weather right now, as do we. So your first item is our signature greens mix. In this mix, you're going to find our favorite leaf lettuce blend. It's got spinach, kale, and arugula in it this week. So this is going to be a good salad blend. I do have people that have used it for sauteing. I usually don't saute the lettuce for something like that, but we will do mixes of just kale or just spinach that you can use in different ways, like in a blender, in a smoothie, something like this. Your next green is our mini gem romaine heads. These are absolutely beautiful. They are nice. They're really dense and thick. Beautiful, beautiful little gems. Depending on the size of them, sometimes I like to slice them in half and then give each person a half, or if they're really thick and dense, even a quarter. And then I like to garnish with all of my toppings, drizzle of dressing, and then serve it that way. If I'm doing like a dinner party, I'll take a platter and put all the halves or quarters, even just a quarter, so it's wedged, and then garnish and dress from there. These are also good. You can pop off the individual leaves and use them as like a lettuce wrap for like an Asian dish, or even taco night if you're trying to stay away from carbohydrates. This is my favorite way to have taco night, is on the mini gem romaines. They are a favorite of ours and of many of our farm customers. I would store the romaines just in this container. You will find there's a little more moisture on there from when we rinse them out of the field. And I do recommend that the lettuce always just stay stored in this bag. I have no complaints. Most people find that this lettuce lasts them 2 to 3 weeks in their refrigerator. So usually early in the season, I try to give a green that you can freeze and a green that has to be eaten fresh, or one that can be cooked and one that has to be eaten fresh. This week I figured it was week one. Everybody's probably ready for some good salad, so I did go with 2 greens that you will eat fresh. Next week we'll be integrating spinach and kale. Those are really great if you've got oversupply, to freeze, or to use them in smoothies, sautés them, soup, things like that. The next thing you have is a beautiful bundle of red and purple radishes. If you don't like radishes, I highly recommend you trying them roasted. It takes away that spicy flavor and gives them a really nice sweet flavor. After I show you everything, I'll kind of give you some recipe ideas. I just store these in this bag. They will stay fresh if you just kind of take the air out, twist them up, and store them like that. If you do have, like, Tupperware makes like a Fridge Smart collection, which is really nice. I've always used for all of my produce. In there with all the air vents closed are going to be best for the radishes. Those will stay good for a very long time. Next we have our sweet salad turnips. If you're afraid that your family might not like the word turnip, you can call these sweet salad summer veggies. You don't have to use the word turnip at all, and actually I don't really even like to use it because they're nothing like the turnips that people remember from their childhood. If you grew up with your grandparents having a farm or cooking turnips. These can be eaten raw. Most times I just pop the root end off and hold the green and give them to my kids, and they just snack on them like that. We have my nephews, we have a couple schools that come out regularly for field trips, and they all love these. They're also really nice just sliced in little rounds, or we call them moons. So we'll have moon chips at our house, and they'll eat these really good with hummus, even guacamole, yep, or perfect on salads. These two can be roasted, sauteed, thrown in soups, used as a potato. So very, very versatile on this one. My favorite is raw, just because it's easy probably. But with that, you're going to want to store those same way the radishes in the container with the top closed. You can put a twist tie on it. We didn't twist tie them today because we also used this bag for the most fragrant scallions. So we have these beautiful, beautiful first harvest on our scallions for this year. Again, raw or cooked with the scallions. I love just chopping those up on top of my tacos, on soups, on a baked potato, so very versatile. Okay, everyone has a package of beets. I've had so many Farmshare customers tell me that they did not like beets until they had ours. You will find that ours are going to be sweeter, not as earthy as the ones you get in the store. The beets that we choose to grow are, that door's open. We choose flavors and seeds based on the flavor of it, not based on the production. In the grocery stores, when they choose their seeds, they choose them based on high production rates and low disease rates. So flavor is our top priority when we're choosing ours. So I love, particularly my favorite way is to cut the top off about 2 inches. So you've got about 2 inches of the red stem. Boil them until a fork goes in them nicely. Usually, depending on the size, anywhere about 45 minutes. And then once they're cooled, the peel, the root, the top all just falls right off. It's actually kind of a fun process. I do have a YouTube video, I believe, on our site where you'll find this that talks about peeling and cooking beets. You can slice them and you can put butter and salt and pepper on them. Or my favorite way is my pickled beet salad, where I use, you'll hear me talk about this recipe a lot, equal parts white vinegar and honey, and then some salt and pepper. I love a lot of, you could use your scallions or white onions sliced in that, and then I put that in the refrigerator to marinate. It's like a marinated pickled beet salad. It's my favorite. But I also highly recommend that you use the greens. If you use the beets or the greens first, you can just store the other one back in this airtight bag. The beet greens sauteed on high heat with some of our lard, and then salt and pepper. You can add onion and garlic. It makes an amazing dish. I find I can just put that down on a plate, then throw like a fried egg on top, or mix that in rice, mix it in, we do like a polenta or cornmeal. Really good, very versatile. Sometimes I find that I just eat it all out of the pan before I even get dinner served. So they've got really great flavor. Okay, everyone has a bag of, Tuesdays is all sugar snap pea microgreens. So these are going to be nice and sweet. They're going to taste like sugar snap peas, which are right on the horizon. So you will have those in your bags within the next few weeks. They are on the vine. The vines are loaded with flowers. It looks like it's going to be a really great production. So stay excited for those. But these are the sugar snap pea microgreens. Like I say, micro in size, massive in nutrition. Sugar snap peas are really good removing extra estrogen in our body. So as women, it's really important that we kind of eat to help service our body. So these can be really good, and they are low histamine. So I'm learning a lot more about the histamines in our body. I think ever since COVID, a lot of people came up with histamine intolerances or histamine flare-ups. So the sugar snap peas are a really nice addition. Okay, you've got some fresh herbs. There are the garlic chives, or excuse me, chive blossoms. The purple flowers, those are really tasty. So yesterday my mother-in-law threw them on her baked potato, really great on a salad, on top of pasta. You can use them to make something really beautiful, but add that really savory umami flavor on top of avocado toast, something like that. So you can get fancy without really having to take a lot of effort. Also in here is thyme and oregano. If you don't find a dish for thyme and oregano within the next week, you can always take those thyme up to a little string, and I just tie them on like a shelf in my kitchen and let them air dry. So that way when I do have the recipe that needs them, I can just pull them right off dried herbs right like that. The chives unfortunately do not dry in that same manner. But and then the last item that you have is a rotating item. So as items are coming in on the farm, but there's not enough for all of our farm shares in 1 week, we keep a tally list of who has received what. At the beginning of the season, we have a few items that are really specialty crops, and they take many, many years to establish. So you'll find rhubarb in your bag today. Rhubarb's really great. Easiest recipe is just to chop it up, add a little bit of water, stew it. When it's done, add some sugar or honey, and you have like a rhubarb compote. Really great on top of some vanilla ice cream, great on toast, mixed in with oatmeal, or just eaten right out of the container just like that. So if you have never used rhubarb, you can use the top to the bottom. We have cut off the leaf, which is actually poisonous part of the plant, at least for some animals and I believe humans. But from top to bottom, it's absolutely beautiful. Rhubarb pies, a rhubarb dump cake is really easy, and what's my mom made most often as we were a kiddo. Some of our ancestors will say like this was their fun dip of their age because it's tart, like a fun dip. So anyway, little fact there. You will also either have that, strawberries. We've got a small strawberry patch that are starting to come in, so we're starting to drip those in hopes to get everybody some of those over the entire season. And then we're also dripping in asparagus to see if we can get those to everybody throughout the entire season. And then you may also have the start of the broccolini plants. And then recipe suggestion for this week, I would do a big roasted veggie platter. So you can roast your beets, you can quarter those, you could roast your radishes and your turnips and throw all of that in. So enjoy.